Hi everybody, this is Fibro Jedi, aka LOTRO Family, and this is the start of my new video series looking at learning the Warden class in LOTRO, which I have never done before. So I hope you'll join me. I have rolled a Hobbit Warden, so we'll be doing all the epic and various side quests and gradually working our way through Middle-earth, looking at levelling, story progression, and learning gambits as we go. So please do join me. So let's crack on with episode 1. Okay, so here we are in the intro scene for the Hobbit race in LOTRO. You start with a quest called A Road Through the Dark. I intend to do the intro scene here because it helps us to get to the basics of what gear you can put on a Warden and to provide a fairly safe environment for learning the initial gambits and setup. When you start Warden, you're actually given a note called Gambit Instructions. So let's read that, because then that's the best way for us to see, the official stuff that we're given when starting a Warden. We will probably have to revisit this, so I've made sure I've locked this in my inventory. Excuse the sniffing, I can't shake this cold, but I do have tea, so this is going to be a fairly relaxed video series. You have no doubt noticed, hopefully, a large new UI element on your screen, which I have moved here above the quick slots. This is the Gambit Display. It can be moved like most other UI elements using Control Backspace. The Gambit Display has two boxes that hold Gambit icons and the Gambit default skill. Gambit icons are added to the display when you execute some basic Gambit skills. You have Quick Thrust, which adds a red spear icon, which is, I've moved this to slot 1. A Shield Bash, which adds a green shield icon, which is here. And Warden's Taunt, which adds a yellow fist icon, which I'm going to move up to here, because on my Guardian I've got taunts up in the second row. So I may have to move it back later, I don't know, but for consistency right now I'm going to keep it as not on my main 1 to equals bar along here. So I'll move my Gambit default down and mark target here. The Gambit icons combine to unlock a new kind of skill called a Gambit. When the correct sequence of Gambit icons is in the Gambit display, the Gambit default skill will change into the correct Gambit. That Gambit can then be used by clicking on the box in the Gambit panel. The Gambit default skill has also been placed on your hotbar for easy use. Yes, it saves me clicking, so I'm going to keep that in slot 3 for now. Gambits that you know are displayed in the character journal by selecting the Skills tab at the top, and Gambits tab at the bottom. Let's find that. So, Skills here, and, well, it's not really at the bottom, it's a tab here, Gambits here. Assailment Gambits. Oh, right. So, this then tells you what kind of icons you need. So, Assailment Gambits, I'll come to what Assailment, and what's the other one we've got down here? Into the Fray stance. Because I've spotted that here. So, so it requires, in this case, a red and a shield. So you get ranged boot if you're on Assailment, for example. If you have a spear icon and a shield icon. If you want to be in Determination, this looks more like a defensive mode. So Defensive Strike is 2 shields back to back. Goad is... it requires an icon I don't yet have, I don't think, so let's leave that. But this Gambits panel here then tells you what combination of things you need to unlock Gambits. So a Deft Strike can appear if you do 2 spears. Yes. Now I don't know how that affects at the moment because I haven't got Determination set or Assailment set. So we'll learn that as we go. We'll see what happens. So when I was talking about stances, hunters you can have strength stance or precision stance, for example, and it looks like we've got something fairly similar for Warden here. So we've got an Into the Fray stance, which adjusts the stance to deal with enemies in melee combat. Only one stance may be active at a time, which makes sense. So you're in a melee combat stance, which reduces your attack duration by 10%. Very handy. You can only change stances once every 4.2 seconds. Assailment stance adjusts the stance to attack from afar. All spear generating gambits and gambit masteries now generate a javelin icon. All spear gambits now require a javelin instead of a spear. Interesting. And several gambits become ranged. Receiving melee damage whilst in this stance will harry the Warden, making them less effective at dealing ranged damage. So if you're, I presume that means if you're going into a group of mobs, then you'll want to be in your Into the Fray stance. If you think you can deal with something from a long way and you want to be ranged, then we can go into Assailment stance. We can try and play with that a bit as we look through this. So in these notes it then goes on to say that gambits that you know are displayed in the character journal, which we've just done, they're characterized by the number of icons to enable the gambit and the gambit type. Gambit types are the same as the first icon in the gambit icon sequence. Okay. Spear gambits are primarily physical attacks. Shield gambits add defensive buffs and heal over time effects. Fist gambits affect multiple enemies and grant defensive buffs. What's a fist gambit? Is that what this is? A taunt? Skill type builder. Ah, that's the fist icon we saw earlier. So, where we saw the fist icon in skills and gambits, goad here is if you have two fists being generated. Goads nearby targets to attack the Warden, dealing light damage over time. So there's a very similar ability for the Guardian, where you deal light damage, but it also taunts them to come and attack you instead of other playable characters. Okay, interesting. This is going to be complicated. Someone told me it would be, but hey, we'll run with it. So Wardens are the only ones that can use javelins, as far as I know, in LOTRO. So we haven't got a javelin yet. We'll see about that shortly. You have a ranged stance assailment, which will turn your gambit builds into ranged versions of themselves. Each of these stances comes with a different suite of available abilities, and you can swap between them freely. So if I were to switch from here, from Into the Fray to assailment, very impressive animation. We only get, at the moment, the taunt ability and the default gambit. Do we gain any extra skills? Does it actually... Oh, what's this? Ah, there is a... There we go. Basic Gambit's quick toss of the javelin, presumably, that hasn't already been put into the quick bars. So let's put that in. I've just put that in. Shouldn't be in dash because I use that for interrupts. Cool. So I suppose we haven't got a target marked, so we can't actually use that. But I'm going to switch because I don't know what I'm doing yet. Oh, hang on. That quick toss only applies... Oh, it's quick thrust. I thought there was quick toss. Ah, is that the one that switches? So, I did say I was learning. So that's a quick thrust. When you go into skills, that's the quick thrust for that one. If you go into assailment stance, look, that changes to quick toss. And because you're going ranged, you can't obviously hit someone with a shield from range. So that changes to quick toss, which presumably becomes available if I then click an enemy. Okay, that's probably enough for at least for now. Cool. I'll keep that guide in there, and let's get on with the Hobbit intro scene. Excuse the tutorial bits, I wanted to do this on purpose so that we get all the full epic story. Who are you, and what do you want?
Ho there! What's your business on the road?
Who goes there? What's your business on the road? I am a bounder. Answer me at once. The hobbit is startled, but the alarm on his face melts with relief when he sees your face. Oh, thank goodness, a hobbit. I'm awfully sorry, I just had a bit of a scare. Something doesn't feel right tonight. You startled me, that's all. There's an odd chill in the air tonight, very strange. Do you feel it? We'll both feel safer if you come along with me. Do you know how to fight, Lamuna? No, because I'm new to Warden. You just need a weapon of some sort. I'm carrying one. Here is the satchel I dropped when you startled me.
Inside is a spare weapon. You should loot it for yourself, then equip it to use it.
Yes, we should. So, this is where we have... So the main other weapon we've got for the Warden is a spear. So, a wood spear will replace the one you're given. And we'll upgrade the shield. And we have a javelin, which is our ranged weapon, which goes into the bow icon slot, just to confuse matters. So now we have a shield, a spear, and a javelin. Looking good. Cool. Turn off floaty names, because I forgot they're on by default.
Be sure to equip your weapon before we have at it. We ought to test your skill in battle.
Let's have at it. Yes, okay. So...
Try coming at me.
I will. Get ready. Fight! So you see there we end up with a new ability triggered. Well done, you have proven yourself. So that icon there changed because I looked at... I did one of these twice. We'll come back to that in a minute. You ate my loaf of bread and yours already, Mr. Pippin. Now Sam, don't be stingy, I know you have another. Let's have it here. Poor Sam, you'll never have a peaceful meal again. Hello, who's this? More travellers at night, and who might you be? Well met, my good bounder, my name is Underhill, and here are my fellow travellers, Samwise Gamgee and Peregrine Took. Why, I've never seen so many hobbits out of bed, and on such a strange night too. Strange? But it is a lovely night for a stroll. Hush, Pippin, what do you mean strange? Have you seen anything odd along the road? Mercy, what's that? Frodo's unaffected. I think we should get off this road at once. You don't need to tell me twice. So he just runs around in circles. Mr. Frodo, what are you waiting for? I'm coming, Sam. Where is Baggins? Speak! There are no Baggins in these parts, sir. Gracious me!
Gracious me! Did you see that?
Let's get out of here! Odo's farm! I'll get this door open, we can cut through. Got it! Eek! Spiders! How I detest spiders! Will you clear the path? Yes. Shall we have an experiment? So if I go into assailment stance... Oh, I'm already in assailment stance. I should be able to quick toss a spear. Invalid target. Oh no, I just wasn't far enough. So there you can do that, but of course once you get harried, it's said in the notes, by melee enemies up close and personal, then that can cause problems. So let's go into here. If I use shield bash there, do that as a gambit, we then get persevere, which does deal extra damage, but also increases your block rating, partial block chance, and heals 2 morale initially and 2 morale over 3 seconds. So in the fight against the Bounder, we end up with an aggressive Gambit. In this case, you get an aggressive plus the damage over time because we started with a shield bash. Me being risk averse, it might well end up being more like that. Right.
Well done!
You're a bolder Hobbit
press
than
on
I.
now.
Let's press on. Yes, let's.
Blast! I just need to find the key.
Yes, I've got a key! Nothing's making me happier. I'll hew the webs. Will you protect me from any spiders that come along? Maybe. So that was, yeah, we got the Persevere one. Let's see what happens if I add 2 of these on. We still only keep the Persevere, so it's almost like you've got to keep that default Gambit, even if you change. So I did a shield and a thrust, and it turned into that Persevere Gambit, but by adding 2 more of the quick thrust, it didn't change it to the aggressive one we had against the Bounder.
I think we're almost safe.
We're close now, Lamuna. Odo's farm will get us safe to the road, and from there we can get to the nearest town, hopefully without encountering any more spiders, or worse. I don't see any more spiders. Hooray! This is the last door until we get to the road. We did it! There's the road ahead. Help! Help! Bridgands, we're being chased! Mundo Sackville Baggins, Celine Brandybuck, what are you doing here? What does it look like, you ninny? We're being chased by brigands, do something about it! Come, let's go through the farm, we can lock them out! Yay! But there are spiders behind that door and a terrible horseman on the road, we only just escaped! There they are! Get them! Keep away, you brutes! Female Hobbit's the only one that doesn't cower in fear. You'll be coming to Archet with us, all of you! The rider will decide your fate there.
Ouch!
You villains, what do you want with Mundo? Your Mr. Baggins is wanted by someone who's lending us great aid in exchange for finding him. Oh, didn't even get a shot in. I don't think you can, but it's worth trying. You have awakened inside a prison, surrounded by brigands. And the quest says, try to get out of your cell. The Black Walls will have unimaginable power thanks to your Baggins. Yes, but you won't share in it.
Hobbits seem to turn up in the most unlikely places, Bounder Boffin.
Are there any other hobbits waiting rescue in this perilous place? No indeed, Mr. Ranger, just me, Lamuna, Celine and Mundo. That is a relief. Now come with me, both of you.
Come along. We are not safe just yet.
I can see you have a brave spirit, but it's time to flee. The Baggins they captured is not the Baggins being hunted. The brigands will not follow us when they learn of their error, but it would be wise to be far away from here. My companion is outside helping rescue your friends. Let's join them. Dear! Strider, I cannot hold him back, my friend. The door is locked. Hold fast, dear. Back, Wraith! No! This is not the end, Dunedain.
Come, Hobbits. It It is safe now.
Everything's on fire, but it is safe.
Oh dear.
The Black Rider is gone, but Strider's fellow ranger is grievously wounded.
This was a dire turn of events.
Stay close to me this night, Lamuna. We must get Umdir to safety. It is to Archet we must both flee. Bounder Boffin, you should go back to the Shire. Its bounds must be kept safe. Celine, Mundo, come with me. I wouldn't worry for Mundo's safety when all the wicked folk of the west of the Greenway are searching for Baggins. Alas, that my true charge must wait.
Wounded by a Black Rider, the Ranger Umdir escaped with his charges into the wild, making his way back to the village of Archet.
There, Captain Brackenbrook, a retired sellsword, has allowed Strider and his companions to stay and take respite from their cares.
So there we go. We are now at the end of the first learning episode here. We've made it to the instance of Archet rather than we haven't got to the full open world yet. We learned that different ability combinations lead to different gambits. So when we were against the Bounder, I used the thrust here twice, which led to a more aggressive gambit here. When I used Shield Bash and another one of the abilities, that led to a combination of being self-healed, improving defense, but still attacking. So it looks like we've got to try to remember the combination of abilities to see what gambit we're actually aiming for. So there we go. That's episode 1. We'll be back and pick up straight from here for episode 2. So hopefully you'll join me. So look after yourself, and please do follow me on Twitter as @FibroJedi and @LOTRO Family. And look after yourselves. I'll see you soon.